All right. Good Tuesday afternoon, everyone. Thanks for stopping by for a check of your forecast. It is August 19th, year of our Lord 2025, and we are almost to 4 o'clock this afternoon here in Amarillo, which again is kind of the peak of our daytime heating. It's allowed for some of these thunderstorms to try and billow up or bubble up here in the middle of the hottest period of the day. They're very isolated. They are struggling. A lot of that due to just not much lift aloft, and a lot of this is driven just by the daytime heating. In fact, all of it being really driven by the daytime heating, and we do have the moisture in place. So storms are going to probably billow up in some spots. They won't move a whole lot, and then they'll collapse about 45 to 60 minutes later. That's that popcorn or pulse type storms that we would typically see in the summer months. But taking a live look outside from Dumas, Texas, north of Amarillo, you can see again we've got some towers trying to go up between us and them. Maybe some of these trying to produce or at least squeeze out a little bit of some rainfall. Rain is not going to be for everyone today. Just notice how isolated these showers and storms are. I mean, we can zoom in here. You can see we've got a few kind of around Paladuro Canyon, got one there north and east of Clarendon, got a couple of showers around Pampa and up there north towards Roberts County as well. But these are really struggling. There's some of those weaker showers that we saw there on the camera on the southwest corner of Lake Meredith. But again, they're very isolated. Not everyone's going to see rain today. But if you get caught under some of these storms, you're probably looking at rain totals on the order of 1 to 2 inches. It's going to be a very heavy downpour, going to see a lot of rain where they do set up. We do have a marginal risk over in the far eastern panhandle, so we can't rule out some 60-mile-an-hour winds along with some quarter-sized hail, but flooding does look to be the biggest nuisance issue. And again, it should be a pretty limited threat given the storm coverage that we'll have. For Wednesday, we are expecting another slim chance for some rainfall, but overall, not really expecting a lot of storm coverage. So probably going to be one of those drier days for most of us, but there will be a few storms in the area. So let's put your model into motion. This is 5 o'clock tonight. You can see storms very isolated, not expecting them to be widespread as we get into Wednesday morning. North wind, temperatures in the 60s. We'll see mostly sunshine tomorrow afternoon, and temperatures probably right at around 90 degrees again. When we get to that convective temperature, we'll see some of those showers and storms pulse up in the afternoon, probably around 3 o'clock, like we saw today, like we saw yesterday. And then they'll just kind of persist until we lose the sunshine and the daylight. And once that goes away, the storms will start to dissipate too. And then the second half of the week does look to be much drier, expecting those temperatures to be probably around 90 degrees for a high temperature, but not enough moisture in place, not enough daytime heating in place to get those isolated storms going later in the day on Thursday and Friday. Now that's going to change. So here's our next weather maker that we've been eyeing over the last few afternoons. You can see we've got this big trough that's going to be spinning up there over portions of Quebec and Ontario. This big trough you see is going to probably bring our first real taste of fall back into the panhandles. We're talking about highs considerably colder than they are today. Some models suggesting we could be 20 degrees colder next week with this cold front. Notice the flow. Again, you can see there's this ridge that's been suppressed and squashed over Arizona and New Mexico. Northwest flow riding up and over it. Got a lifting mechanism in that cold front, which will probably stall out at some point in the South Plains. How far south it gets, still a little bit unknown, but we'll probably have several days next week where our rain chances are pretty significant. And right now, models are suggesting that it could be a relatively wet pattern jumping out of August and into September. Some of the ensembles suggesting we could see a widespread round of rain where 1 to 4 inches could be possible, which is something to look forward to. We have been relatively dry from a broad view of the panhandles over the last few weeks, so some widespread rain would be a welcome sight, even though we did have some scattered storms last night. Areas like Clovis saw a half-inch of rain. They had an inch and a half up towards Bootleg and up towards Indy, New Mexico. So up there in the north side of Curry County, Quay County, some of those areas picked up a good healthy batch of rainfall last night. But this could be a more widespread event as we move into the end of the month. So something to look forward to. Here's a look at our 7-day tracker. Again, our model still, again, hit and miss on when this front is actually going to get here. Model consensus is sometime next week. We think it's going to be Monday night into Tuesday. Right now, we've bumped you up to a 40 pop for rain on Monday and Tuesday as well. And so those rain chances already fairly elevated, given we're still 6, 7 days away from forecast verifying. When we see pops that high this far out, usually that's a good sign. And you'll probably see those chances and continue to increase as we get closer to the day of the event as well. But we've got you in the 90s through the rest of this week. Dry weather Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That northwest flow starting to kick into place on Sunday, so we've got a 20% chance for maybe some rogue storms then, but that cold front will act as a means of lift. That's just going to be another factor or parameter that's going to be going into how much rain we could see, how widespread it could be. And models are very, very excited about seeing some widespread precip here across the high plains and the south plains, really from Monday through next weekend. It may not be every single day that you get rain, but it's a wet pattern for sure for the south portion of the plains region, which does include us here in the Texas Panhandle. And then you can see we've got temperatures right now in the upper 70s on Tuesday. If we stay cloudy all day, you guys know as well as I do that we probably won't get to 79. When we lose our sunshine, it really impacts that temperature. We may stay in the 60s if we don't see the sun. So that is kind of a big hinge point in the forecast right now. Still a little bit of some boomer bust potential for those temperatures. They're going to have some room to wiggle over the next 6, 7 days. So something to keep in mind. I will let you guys know today is going to be my last day on air for a while. I'm going to be taking some leave. The missus is due very soon for our second kiddo. And so I'll be out of the office for several weeks, but we won't go anywhere. I'll just be sleep deprived and staying at the house, again, bonding with the kid and making sure she's got everything she needs. So you won't see me at night. You'll see Matthew. Josiah is going to be covering our morning shifts. Do appreciate both of them. Very good guys to work with, very accommodating. So I do appreciate both of them. But just to let you guys know, your updates in the afternoon are going to be coming from Matthew starting tomorrow. That's all I've got for today's update this afternoon. Storms, again, going to be very isolated. Don't expect rain, but a few of us that do see it could see a fair